Colorism, and what I mean by colorism, the whole idea of the lighter your skin, the better you are, exists in every country and with every ethnic group that's ever came in encounter with Europeans. Black women aren't alone. I've been in conversations where I've seen darker skinned Mexican chicks, right, who look more Native American, talk about how they have a hard time in terms of how they're viewed because of their skin color and their features, which tend to be almost more Native American. To the point where they completely 100% identify with black women. The same goes for Indians who can be darker than some black people. So I've seen it happen. I've been in conversations where these women speak quite passionately about what's going on, and to the point where they too notice how black men have a tendency for lighter skinned women, and it makes them upset as well. So I guess you guys are kind of united on that front. And my problem with it, like I said before, is that it's a issue that every culture has, not just black men. We focus on black men because whether we like it or not, black men are at the bottom, or American black men are at the bottom of, the world's social hierarchy, right? We're smack dab at the bottom. So at the top, you probably have some European or some billionaire white dude, and at the bottom, you have your black dude. So because of that, it's almost comical for those at the bottom to have standards. It's almost comical for those at the bottom to have choices. And that's what the women don't understand. Nobody questions if a white dude stands up and says he only likes, white women who, have a little bit of a darker skin tone, almost like, she's like from Venezuela, or I only like black or white women who have blonde hair, or who have a certain body type, or who have certain facial features. No one questions that, but it's the same thing that black men are doing, but they don't question it because white men are seen to be higher on, the totem pole. But it's still an issue. Even with the Mexican community, and I'm being clear in terms of me using Mexican, there is colorism within it. And, I have friends, I grew up around Mexicans in Southern California, and they do talk about it. If you see a well-to-do Mexican family, notice their skin color. Just being obvious with you. But once again, nobody wants to draw out attention to what's going on there. Don't let me get started on Indians. Don't even let me get started on the whole idea of Asians and Filipinos. Right? Filipinos probably identify more with black people than they do Asians because of their skin color. But we don't focus on that issue in terms of attacking the media. There's a lot of problems that you're only going to find with black people, but there are problems that black people have that other cultures share, right? We're not alone on certain struggles that we have, and it really doesn't help when black men are, seen to be the only, players in the whole idea of reinforcing colorism. I mean, go figure. It's always going to be a hot topic in terms of what black men like and what we don't like because we're seen at the bottom. It's almost, risque to talk about. It's almost taboo. Like, oh, how could they? Right? It's like a bum coming into a restaurant and demanding to be seated and, wanting a menu. Oh, who is this guy? He can't come in here and start demanding things. So I'm going to need black women to actually think outside the box on this one and understand that this issue has affected the world. If you are non-European, not even if you're European, and if you've came in encounter with Europeans throughout your nation or your country's history, you have a problem with colorism. Why? Because that's how they divided you guys, and that's how they were able to spread their influence and gain their control, because they told the ones who looked more like them that you were better off. So it just didn't happen in Africa. It just didn't happen to black people in America. Take it easy. God bless.